nice and strong in the end range. So getting that control is what allows you to achieve it and keep it and then use it. So if you do want to get a good solid front split, you want to work on it from all different aspects. So the key things that I recommend when you're doing your leg strengthening work, that you do deep split squats. So when you're going down, that back leg, you want to keep it straight, get it super strong through that hip flexor and really work that end range. So you're getting that deep position in the front leg with all those benefits, but for the front split, it's that back leg, getting that flexibility through there, getting nice and strong through that hip flexor at that end range. So keep progressing that, loading 1 time per week. Now, as a daily thing, just opening up that range and using it. If you are quite tight there, a really effective thing to do, the wall quad stretch. So you want to have that knee right into the corner, stepping forward, coming up. The goal in this is to tuck the butt under, get the head to touch the wall, shoulders to touch the wall. So I like adding in my front split work with my straight arm strength in the upper body for gymnastics strength work. So I'll do, say, front lever and planche, and then I'll do a front split on one leg and then the other leg. Or I might just do that quad wall stretch each side. That I find that works really well. The sissy squats and the reverse Nordics are also really good for that quad flexibility, to open that up, get it stronger there. Then I do it like that, so I condition it with that. I might do some eccentrics, so that full front split, just lowering down slowly for 30 seconds each leg. That's super hard, super heavy. Or doing a little bit of a lower and then just holding an isometric. Works great, using the rings or something to hold on to pull myself up out of it. Another component of the front split that's really important in the hang handstand split warm-up, doing those split raises. So when you're doing that hang front split, where you raise that compress in the front leg right up, and then also going back with the back leg, so you're really using that glute and hamstring to control the extension of the hip as well. So just like with the side splits, in the front split, you want to have good active control through that full range of motion, good strength, eccentric loading that you can build upon, concentric up and down and dynamic together, and then eccentric where you're lowering into that end range and then holding an isometric. All those work really well to develop the front splits. And you do want to be cautious of overdoing it too quickly, especially through the quads. And I've had a lot of people that have rushed it and they kind of get numb or get tingling through there because they've just overstretched it way too fast. Using the foam roller to open up all the tissues works really well. And you want to have that nice weekly structure where you're doing everything to work towards it and you're doing stuff daily. I did Taekwondo when I was 16, 17. I've done kind of martial arts training stuff since then, but for about 10 years I went pretty hard at it, and I was just doing kicks every day. So doing the kicks to the front, doing that type of thing over and over is going to help with that front split position. And that was something, kind of just something I was enjoying doing. I was doing capoeira, where you have, there's all these positions where you're getting that really nice split position over and over, so that just makes it easier to maintain that range. And always make sure left and right are equal. Keep it balanced and make it so that you're not progressing the dominant side further, that you try and let the tighter side catch up, so you balance out your pelvis. That's always going to make it a lot easier long term. For the hamstrings, doing the straight leg deadlift work with the overstretch is great as well. So coming down in there and hinging the hip. You've got your rounded out, back rounded version. This is not very high for me, so I'm not really getting much of a stretch, but doing that, doing the active hands in the front split, but then also the active single leg bends work really well to get that control in the front split, squeezing that glute on that top leg. So that in my warm up every day makes a huge difference to maintaining it and getting it stronger and getting that strength through that hamstring in that full range of motion. The Jefferson curls are good to strengthen the back and that M range in the hamstring as well. Then the compression strength in the hang front split is good, as well as doing just the pike lifts as well, just for both the hamstrings in the front part. But your leg training, you know, if you do want to achieve more mobility, and that's a key primary focus, then that deep split squat for that back leg, and also doing your lateral squat for the side split position is going to really help. Using that as a method, so you're strengthening that, loading that up, and then also your straight leg deadlifts, so really driving the hips out, back as you come down to strengthen those hamstrings through a full range of motion. Now, they're also going to help with the pancakes, obviously, and if you've got that locked out knee, you're going to strengthen in behind that knee and make that a lot more tolerant and strong to have a good front split. If you're using it every day, it makes a huge difference because your body's going to accept that as a more natural position, so that way it doesn't tighten up. If you're just kind of doing it randomly, you'll find that it's very hard to make progress and the body really won't accept the changes because it's not something that you're using on a day-to-day basis. So that's a huge part of improving your front split, is to live it, just like the side split, just like the pancakes, and they've all got to work together. You can't just kind of focus on one. You might be better at one, but you've got to make them all strong so that way the body feels comfortable through those ranges. Dynamically, cartwheels, handstand kick-ups all work really well to get that dynamic front split and keep that healthy. If you are doing some type of martial art or something with some kicks, kickboxing, taekwondo, whatever it is, using that as well to maintain it and to keep it developed and express it makes it a lot easier as well. So for conditioning, like I said before, I'll use it usually in my straight arm strength in the upper body. I'll mix 30 seconds each leg with it and just do multiple sets, 3 to 5 sets. Or you could just do it as a standalone workout where you're just doing front split left and front split right, and you might do a 30-second rest in between. There's no real mirroring mobility that you could do with it unless you're just doing hamstring 30 second, hamstring 30 second on the other leg, quad 30 second on one leg, and then 30 second on the other leg. That could work to do that mirror type workout. But when you're doing obviously a full front split, you're getting both front and back, and there's lots of different variations, but the basic one to start with is just using the rings, lowering yourself down into eccentric, getting an isometric hold there. So either just 30 seconds eccentric or 30 second isometric. And then dynamically, I like the same one from the hang handstand split warm up is a good one. And you might just do 30 seconds each side of that. You can even load it up where you're going hip flexor, hamstring. So you're going into the end range of each for both of those for 30 seconds, and then the other side, then you might go back to your back lever manner or your front lever planche to do sets of those. So get into that. I want to see a video of your front split from the side, left and right side, and then also front on is quite important as well because you can see if there's any distortion from left and right with the pelvis. And see what kind of compensations are happening. Oh, that's challenging. So work on those, get those videos into me so I can have a look, and then it's all about your interactions with me as to what you do next. So whether you're going to quad wall stretch each side, maybe that's where you need to start, or whether you go into the dynamic versions, eccentric versions, isometric versions, work more on that. but it's an interactive process. It's not just here's your cookie cutter program, just do this and see what happens. You need to change course depending on how your body responds and whether you're making progress at the rate that you like to, and then what else you can do, and if you're having any hiccups, if you've got discomfort with doing it. There's no point in improving the range if it hurts, if your back's sore because you've forced it too quickly. So see you soon, get into it. Ciao.